can have the mic. Give me the hand mic. That makes me more comfortable. A very good morning to all of you. We are saying this good morning, which is being heard across states. When we say this good morning, our Mumbai counterpart is able to listen us, is able to visualize us. When we say this good morning, it's good morning to multicultures, multi-campus, international conference and its audience. Welcome once again to our institution, to our very own university, Bharati Vidyapeeth, Deemed University. I take this honor of welcoming Honorable His Excellency Alam Waldemarian, Ambassador State of Eritrea, Head of African Missions. Welcome, sir. Our guest of honor, Honorable Shri K.L. Ganju, Consulate General, Union of Comoros, Secretary General. He has been kind enough, and whenever we invite him, he is accepting our invite. Thank you so much for coming, sir. Honorable Professor Dr. Ratan Sharma, who happens to be old friend and mentor from Delhi School of Business, New Delhi, and who is also representing today Association of Indian Business Schools, Indian Management Schools here, who happens to be our sponsor for this particular international conference. I also take this opportunity of welcoming Honorable Mr. Subodh Agarwal, Head State E-Governance Mission, Team GNCTD. And also I welcome Mr. Presidio from Association of African Students. Digitalization is a buzzword, and hence the need for this particular conference of how we are moving ahead. Of course, there has been a deliberation how much to digitalize, whether to digitalize or not, whether it is taking on the employment of other people or whether it is generating employment in today's scenario. This is an apt platform because we are talking of empowerment, we are talking of Sashактikaran, and we are trying to see how we can create a smart future through e-governance and digitization. Let me take this opportunity to thank our management and our conveners who happen to give us this particular platform of why we are together here and to give this platform for deliberations today. The demographics is changing, and hence a new term is getting coined, which is known as social nomics. When you talk of social nomics, see what is happening. How many of you have licked the postal stamp in your life? Let me ask you this. How many of you have licked a postal stamp in your life? We find hardly any. I used to do it when I was a student. You are a student, you must not have seen the postal stamp. When we were a student, we used to see the postal stamp of Mahatma Gandhi for ₹1, right? So that is how things are changing. With digitalization, you have landed up in the world of mobile. You landed up in the world of pager, which is no more. But later on, you landed up in the world of mobile and now smart mobiles. So SMS or WhatsApp is the way of communicating with each other, and we hardly go to Indian Postal Office to see and buy the postal stamp. 93% of the decisions are influenced by social media. Instead of asking a friend which product to buy, we see the reviews on social media and then go in for buying the products. Video is accounting for 2/3 data usage today. You can see that it is live streaming today. We are streaming live to our Mumbai campus, and you are also able to visualize on your mobile phones. More people earn mobile than toothbrush. You are having one toothbrush in your bathroom, but you may be having 2 mobiles in your pocket. That's the thing which has now differentiated, right? Average age on LinkedIn has gone down to 13. So more young people have now started networking, and it is said in the West that on Twitter, more people of the age group of Mr. Ganju is joining. I just wanted to grab your attention, yeah? Sure. 1 in 3 marriages is happening online. So tomorrow when you are getting married, you may be finding your better half on matrimony.com or any such matrimonial site, and he or she may be becoming your better half. And get a digital wife. Yes, yes, yes. So what we have been able to see is dating has started happening on the Facebook, right? We come across each other on digital matrimony, and one day we land up staying in relationship, and then ultimately marry after testing each other. That's how things are changing at present. Word of mouth is now becoming world of mouth. So what the world is saying, that is important to us, not what my neighbor is saying. So truly our social life is being influenced by some external force, and that is digitalization. Let me take to you this world through this particular video. This is what I was telling. So yes, we are ready for digitalization, and before we start talking of digitalization, let's see how digital disruptions has been affecting us in the last 20 years. Digitalization is not a new word. The only thing is, somewhere there is a transformation of technology which has been happening since 1995 till today. If you see what was there in 1995, when I was a student, I used to look for video cassettes and audio cassettes. When I was a student, and when your teachers were also students, we used to have tape recorder, right? And 2-in-1 was the type of system which we used to carry. We used to have a Walkman where we used to insert a cassette and then used to have it on earphones, right? So at that point of time, it was analog technology, but we were very fascinated to have new cassettes of Michael Jackson and Madonna during our times, right? In 2010, there was a changeover as far as print media is concerned. Television went in under change. In 1982, we found that color television was there in cathode ray tube. In 2010, we found LCD coming in. And today you can see the size and structure of televisions. It has undergone a massive transformation. Whether it comes to traveling or whether it comes to human resource, they started getting digitalized in the year 2010 onwards. Today, during 2017, when we see, there are some changes happening as far as finance is concerned. So, in the morning, Dr. Ratan Sharma was sharing, I stopped going to bank, and I'm very happy paying my electricity bills on mobile app. This transformation has happened, and generations of different ages are adopting to this type of technology nowadays in India. Though it's very common as far as West is concerned, there everything is through plastic money or digitization. India is undergoing a transformation, and in days to come, technology will be a challenge, but will also be a boon for the country like this. When it comes to healthcare, medical line is moving online. You can go in for having appointments with the doctors online. Practo is one app where you find different doctors of different specializations. So gone are those days when I used to ask my neighbor, tell me a good doctor, I'm having some problem. Now you go into that type of online app and you are able to find multiple doctors. The only thing is you should be able to seek appointment online and reach there. Traffic may be a problem, finding person is not a problem. In days to come, you will find that most of the things will be digitally protected. This is visible nowadays. Your bank account, whether it is buying of gold, whether it is buying of mutual funds, everything is going online, and in days to come, digital will be the buzzword, and it will be a part of your life. How it is going to do it? Let us see how business has gone in for undergoing a change. When we talk of disruptions, disruption means something new has happened altogether around us, and it's not the usual way of things that has happened suddenly in a different manner. You talk of Uber, it's the world's largest taxi company, doesn't own any taxi. You talk of Skype or WeChat, it's the world's largest phone company, doesn't own a telephone exchange, or doesn't own a telephone either. You talk of Alibaba Group, it's world's most valuable retailer, doesn't own any retail shop. You talk of Facebook, most popular media owner, owns no content. It's all your content which others are seeing. You talk of Society One, its world's fastest growing bank, owns no bank. You talk of Netflix, it doesn't own any cinema, still they have made cinema, our home as cinema. You talk of Apple and Google, its world's largest software vendors, owns no software. So they are selling softwares through their platforms, and we are buying it, and we are enjoying their apparatus. If you talk of 5 C's of digital disruption, which are visible, how they are changing our lives, they are going in for making a change in the way business is being conducted. They are making a change. We are connecting socially. We are not going to each other's home quite often, but we are saying hi to them on WhatsApp. We are saying hi to them on phone. We are saying hi to them on video calling. A relative sitting in America, we say hi to them, how are you, and we are face to face. The way we engage culturally, digitization has gone in for affecting us. The way we construct our thinking, digitization has gone in for making an impact. When we go to the class, Google is there, right? And whatever we are not able to understand from the teacher, Dr. Google is always there to help us. Yeah? So that's the way things are changing. And the way we create value is also getting affected through this particular digitalization. The content that the youngsters should not have been watching, they are watching. Hence, the value system is undergoing a change. Let's see how digital transformation is happening, what is happening all around us. Big data is getting generated. It is getting generated with the help of mobile phone. The moment you enter a mobile phone, it is getting uploaded somewhere on the Google or on the Gmail. You are creating more and more data. It is being analyzed by the companies for giving you that type of facility. Digital transformation is happening the way we are socially interacting with each other. It is happening on cloud. When you talk of Amazon Prime, gone are those days when you used to go to book a ticket at the cinema hall. Now it's book my show, right? Gone are those days, if I have missed a movie, it is available on Amazon Prime or Netflix. So I can see the movie still on cloud. Containers. You go in for searching for 1 or 2 apps, you get a bundle of apps which can be downloaded, and you can go in for buying things on those apps. This is a new term, DevOps. What is happening? People who are into operations, and people who are into development, they are coming together to create new things and new platforms. So whatever I think I want, I'll ask the developer to go in for developing those things for me. And the one fine example which has happened in our campus is you are using a BVIMR campus app. The thought process was that of the teachers, you are the users, and developer is someone else. There has to be a strategy for all this. We need to go in for having a mobile strategy. We can have a strategy of bring your own device and we give you the softwares for it and you can go in for using our softwares. There is a biometric strategy which can be seen in Aadhaar card linking with different types of bank accounts and telephone numbers. There is a social media strategy of how we are going to reach you, or whether on the Facebook or through WhatsApp or through YouTube. There is a big data and analytics strategy. It is said that in days to come when you are getting hired, the company will see your behavior online. How you behave on Facebook and how you behave on LinkedIn is going to determine whether you will be in the company or out the company during the selection process. So this is how things are changing around you. There has to be a cloud strategy of how much data has to be put on cloud and how much data has to be shared. You are using Google Drive to store your own records, but how much data you are sharing with others, that's your strategy. Internet of Things is new thing which is coming up. How many devices are getting connected through internet? This is a new strategy which you have to think of. You don't have to connect people, you have to connect devices because those devices are in the hands of people. And ultimately, cognitive and computing strategy has to be thought over, and these are the new things which we'll find in days to come. So digitization has created new power, hence it's time to empower. Empower the youth by educating, empower the citizen by technology, empower the nation by e-governance. Let's move towards Shashaktikaran, empowering to create smart future through e-governance and digitization. I would like to share one video with you because this is going to affect the future students who are going to come to us. Your degrees are also getting centralized, and National Academy Department is going in for centralization of all the degrees. So gone are those days when the degrees can be pirated. Everything will become online. So just have a watch of this movie and you'll see how government is going in for making a change as far as education sector is concerned.
यार मेरा फोल्डर खो गया, मेरे सारे डिग्री और सर्टिफिकेट्स उसमें थे, अब मैं क्या करूं?
आपका वीजा प्रोसेस नहीं हो सकता सर, आपके एकेडमिक अवार्ड वेरीफाइड नहीं है।
हम सभी को अक्सर ऐसी समस्याओं का सामना करना पड़ता है, पर अब ऐसी सभी समस्याओं का समाधान है नैड यानी नेशनल एकेडमिक डिपॉजिटरी। भारत दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा शैक्षणिक क्षेत्र है। यहाँ 47 केंद्रीय विश्वविद्यालयों, 365 राज्य विश्वविद्यालयों, 123 डीम्ड विश्वविद्यालयों और 269 निजी विश्वविद्यालयों से हर साल लगभग 1.5 करोड़ छात्र शैक्षणिक मानपत्र हासिल करते हैं। इसी तरह सीबीएसई, राज्य बोर्ड और आईसीएसई द्वारा लगभग 3.5 करोड़ छात्रों को शैक्षणिक मानपत्र वितरित किए जाते हैं। ऐसे में भारत सरकार द्वारा नैड के जरिए सभी शैक्षणिक मानपत्रों को डिजिटाइज करने का फैसला किया गया है। नैड वो प्रणाली है जिसके द्वारा हर एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन द्वारा छात्रों को दी जाने वाली डिग्री, सर्टिफिकेट या डिप्लोमा को सीधा नैड में अपलोड कर दिया जाएगा। इस ऑनलाइन डिजिटल डिपॉजिटरी को कभी भी कहीं से भी कनेक्ट करके अपनी डिग्रियों को देखा जा सकता है या उन्हें डाउनलोड किया जा सकता है। भारत सरकार के इस उपक्रम में 2 इंटर ऑपरेबल डिजिटल डिपॉजिटरीज सीवीएल और एनडीएमएल कार्यरत हैं, जो इन मानपत्रों को डिपॉजिट करने, सहेजने और सुरक्षित करने का कार्य करेंगे। इस सुविधा के कार्यरत होते ही देश के सभी शैक्षणिक संस्थान इससे जुड़ जाएंगे, जिसमें सभी छात्रों के शैक्षणिक मानपत्रों को अपलोड किया जाएगा। मानव संसाधन मंत्रालय एवं विश्वविद्यालय अनुदान आयोग की इस पहल से करोड़ों छात्र, उनके अभिभावक, शैक्षणिक संस्थान, भारतीय एवं विदेशी एम्प्लॉयर्स व संस्थान, सरकार द्वारा मान्यता प्राप्त विशिष्ट संस्थान आदि लाभान्वित होंगे। देश के शैक्षणिक संस्थान अपने छात्रों के सभी मानपत्रों और अंक पत्रों को इन डिपॉजिटरीज में अपलोड करेंगे। वहीं छात्र दुनिया के किसी भी कोने से किसी भी समय सिर्फ आधार के जरिए या नेट पहचान के जरिए अपने मानपत्रों को कहीं से भी देख सकेंगे, उन्हें डाउनलोड कर सकेंगे या एम्प्लॉयर्स को इन्हें जांचने की इजाजत देकर वेरिफिकेशन की लंबी प्रक्रिया से बच सकते हैं। अधिक जानकारी के लिए www.ned.gov.in पर।
So this is how education will undergo a transformation in days to come. You don't have to get the degrees on paper, it will be digitalized. So no one can steal your degree, everything will be safe. Let's move on to the genesis of this conference, what we are going to deliberate on this, what are the issues which we would like to focus today. One is digital branding, digital public relations, digital startups, digital entrepreneurship, digitalization and education, digital finance, e-governance, and many more topics. So these topics will be deliberated throughout the day and tomorrow in different tracks. Some of the issues that we need to discuss on this is raising issues related to digitization, what is required, how much digitization is required, raising and deliberating issues related to security on digital platforms, issues of how to increase the efficiency and effectiveness on open platforms, reaching the illiterate and making technology work for the poor. This is one of the issues related to our country, and hence it's very important to address to this issue. Content and web syndication in digital era and issues related to it. We have gone in for digitizing our campus, and you have gone in for benefiting out of it. Our students have gone in for showing and demonstrating of how digitalization is helping in their life. Let's have a glimpse of this particular procedure that we have gone in for doing in the last 3 years. Yes. Attendance is online. Let's have a digital lab. Our library is digitalized. That's the attendance and library. Databases. In days to come, we are going to create a single window for no dues. You don't have to run from one department to another, only one department, and you will get no due certificate. That's the online 24/7 feedback system. Faculty can see their attendance on their mobile phone the moment they go in for giving a biometric mark. That's hostel attendance. All of you are experiencing it. No notice is being put on the notice board. It's coming to your mobile phones. Work the way you like. And we are also trying to make our vendors digital. To the media team for making such a wonderful movie that truly shows what digitization is all about, and we are moving in that particular line. So let's begin deliberating on digitization. I welcome you once again. Thank you so much.
kind words and sharing such a great learning with us. Thank you.
Now, I would like to have the pleasure of inviting our chief guest, Honorable His Excellence Alam Tasai, on the dais to endeavor us with his kind words.
Good morning to everybody. Before I start my main speech, I would like to introduce myself to you. Wherever I go, I'm here 10 years. I go to many universities, conferences and so on, but no one knows about my country. So I would like now to give you a brief about my country. It's a young country, 27 years old now. Got its independence after 30 years of war of liberation for independence. It is in the Northeast Africa, where, if you know, Sudan in the north, south, Ethiopia and Djibouti, and in the east is the Red Sea. The longest sea coast in the Red Sea is ours. The population is about 4.5 million. The time of independence was very critical for us because we have been at war for 30 years. These 30 years, the colonizers, they have never built a house, never colleges or education, no agriculture. Everything we have started from the scratch. Now, thanks God, after these 27 years, we are come to the level of the other countries. Maybe better, I can say. Economic is booming. We have the mining. My country is very rich in mining. All kind of mining is there: gold, copper, potassium, and so on and so on. And also, it is very rich in fish also. These 30 years, no one had fished in that area because it was a very big war. It was daily, there was a war there. So, this is Eritrea, for your knowledge. Maybe most of you don't know it. So, I have to tell you about Eritrea first. Anyway, let's come back to the speech. Dear Dr. Vikas Nath, Director, BVIMR, other esteemed authorities of the Bharati Vidya Spit, dear friend Mr. Kanju, the Honorary Consul General Union of Comoros, dear academicians, researchers, industry professionals, research scholars, dear brothers of the AASI from Africa, Mr. Okungu, dear students, and all dignitaries on the dais too. It is my sincere gratitude for the invitation addressed to me by Bharati Vidya Peace Institute of Management and Research at this inaugural session of the conference with the theme Shashakti Karan Empowerment to Create Smart Future through E-Governance and Digitization. It is also an honor to share this platform with my good friend, His Excellency Mr. K.L. Kanju. Since the evolution of the ICTS, the world has made a tremendous step towards various solutions easing the way of living for humanity. Indeed, the political, economic, and social areas of the nation and the people have been positively impacted by the use of information and communication technologies by enhancing transparency, participation, transformation, and collaboration in public governance. Dear participants, it is of public knowledge that today we live in a world of huge information data, and those who can access that information in a timely manner have a competitive advantage and are in a better position to achieve quick development. It is therefore understood that governments have the responsibility of empowering their citizens in having access to information technologies which are enablers to in enhancing human development. The digital the digital inclusion promotes the political inclusion through transparent electoral process and through the consideration of the wisdom of the crowds by aggregating the collective thinking and the mass opinion. The electronic governance serves as a fast medium to offer better service to the people, ranging from basic social needs like medication and education to bigger activities like industrial development. However, critics observe that the digital divide between developed and the developing world is still a hindrance to the global benefits of the ICTs. It is high time that the discrepancy in information technologies between the two worlds is addressed properly. India and the African continent have paved the way to cooperation in the area of the ICTs and are working together to achieve more for transformation and the betterment of their people's lives. Dear members of the academia and their students, however, much political leaders have the responsibility of empowering the citizens. There is a big role you have to play in imparting the knowledge and acquiring the knowledge respectively. The smart future is in your hands, and for that you have to harness well the realm of the ICTs and make its ideal easy solutions a reality for the people. Let us all together strive for the transformation of our people's lives through the use of new information and communication technology. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, sir, for such a gratitude. Now, I would like to appeal Honorable Shri K. L. Ganju to acknowledge us with his kind words.
Good morning to the students. I was here 3 years back also, and what the difference I see when I came first time and today is that we have seen more students, and the other difference is that Dr. Vikas Nath ji has put on weight. So it is sign of prosperity, and when you have more students, you are happy. So obviously you are bound to put on weight. Excellency, Mr. Woldemariam, the chief guest of the day, Ambassador of Eritrea, my dear friend, Excellency Dr. Nath and dignitaries of the dais, members of the faculty, students, my dear students, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I've left with anything to tell you because a lot of things have already been told by my previous speakers. But however, since I am here for 10 minutes, which is a very long time, so I will take only 5 minutes to say a few words. E-governance and digitization is the subject of the day. Everybody talks about it wherever you go. But you have to think one thing, that such type of innovations, inventions are changing every day. It's not that one thing has been created today and tomorrow it will remain for years. No. One thing which has been invented today, it will change in few weeks, maybe months. So you have to keep a pace with the technology every day. Like a doctor who has done his graduation 40 years back has to read even today that what are the new medicines which are coming for the new diseases. So therefore, it is not so easy, but not very difficult also. I'm not an expert on this subject because like Dr. Nath said, we started from postal stamps to digital marriages. So I am of the era of the postal stamp. So my experience on digital marriages and other things will not be as good as you will be having. So therefore, I will say a thing which I have experienced in my life. You know, e-governance and digitization is the necessity because when the population increases and if there is no e-governance, there is no digitization, the benefits to the population will be minimal. There will be no transparency, there will be no honesty, there will be nothing moving unless you are having systems put on where you can know that what is due to me and whether I'm getting it or not. So therefore, e-governance and digitization are going hand in hand. What I feel is that, what is digitization and what is e-governance? You know, it safeguards the rights of the people. It also ensures equitable distribution of services. It also brings benefit to the economy, and moreover, it ensures transparency and accountability. But you have to remember one thing. Every machine created by a human being, whichever machine, the best of the machines in the world are run by the human beings only. It is not that machine runs the machine. No. Somebody has to sit behind the machines. Therefore, the person who is sitting behind the machine is more important, becomes more important than the machine. Recently, you must have heard and on the television that the wrong button was pushed where for 38 minutes a city was at ransom. In Hawaii, a wrong button was pushed that a missile is coming and hitting you, and for 38 minutes nobody could rectify it. After 38 minutes, when all the signals were showing that some disaster is going to happen, somebody rectified it and everything was normal. So therefore the human being sitting behind the machines becomes more important. So how the human being who is sitting behind the machines is important? It is the institutions where you are studying has a major role to play. They have to give you the best of the education, whether it is in information technology or communication. Therefore, you are more important. The students of today are more important to make this a success story. But let me end by saying only a last line, what I said last time also. You must be good students. You are getting the best of the education because this institution is very old and very renowned. You may get a very good job after passing out from here. But your success in life depends on three things. One is you must have ethics. Second is you must have morals. And the third is you must have honesty. If you have all the three things with good education, I assure you that you will not be lagging behind in anything you will be successful in life, and therefore very important for e-governance and digitization. Digitization is reaching. In India, it is not very easy to make everybody accept this concept in their daily routine, because India is not so educated. When India becomes educated, 100% education is given, it may take maybe 1 or 2, 3 decades more. It's not in our lifetime, but definitely in your lifetime. I am very sure that 100% India will be the top country in the world where everything will be digitized and every services of the government will be through e-governance. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, sir. We deeply appreciate. Now, I would like to request Honorable Mr. Presido Okuguni to grace the event with his words.
Good morning, everyone. Let me begin by saying a big congratulations to all of you. I mean, you have a campus that is so committed towards a smart future. I mean, sitting down there and then watching the video of how much the campus, the institution is working towards digitizing this institution, really, I mean, I'm so impressed. It's something we all wish to have as a student. I am a student like you are, and most of what you have here already on campus, I don't have it as a student. My institutions have not been able to implement that yet. So please put a round of applause for your for BVIMR, please. Let me just quickly admonish the presence of His Excellency Alem Waldemariam, Ambassador of the State of Eritrea, the Dean of African Missions, Honorable Shri K.L. Ganju, Consular General of the Union of Comoros, Honorable Prof. Dr. Ratan Sharma, Director of Delhi School of Business, New Delhi, Honorable Mr. Subor Subdor Agarwal, Head State E-Governance Mission, GNCTD, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to extend to you all a very warm welcome on behalf of the Association of African Students in India, AASI, and to say how grateful we are to BVIMR, who we have partnered with on this laudable initiative. I welcome all delegates to this international conference on empowering to create smart future through e-governance and digitization. It is indeed an opportune time for us all to gather and discuss very pertinent issues of mutual benefits to all of us from across India and beyond. I'm very delighted to note that the agenda of this international conference is one that is seeking to put us on the path of great human development as a people. Before I go on to address the topic of discourse, let me quickly opine that the traditional form of governance, which is a slow-paced, structured activity, which is really immune to change and very slow to adapting new technology, cannot hold sway in this 21st century. So therefore, the need to have establishment of facilities and capacities for adopting data management and the use of electronic communication to enhance the delivery of good governance cannot be overemphasized. But this would require capacity building by the government by sensitizing its citizens about e-governance and digitization. However, the challenges of implementation of e-governance are rife all over the world, especially developing countries, where cost, literacy levels, privacy and security, trust, and resistance to change are quite prevalent. In most African countries, the overall challenges for the use of ICTs for local governance are the high cost of ICTs equipment, applications and software applications, services, as well as literacy level has remained a huge impediment towards implementation of e-governance. E-governance ensures equitable access to public services and the benefits of economic growth through transparency in all its dealings, accountable for its activities for faster and its responses in serving the needs of its citizenry. ICT provides efficient storing and retrieval of data, instantaneous transmission of information, processing information and data faster than earlier manual ways, speeding up of governmental processes, and enforcing of accountability. ICT also helps in increasing the reach of government, both geographically and demographically. The launch of NICNET in 1987, the National Satellite-Based Computer Network in India, which was followed by the launch of the District Information System of the National Informatics Center, DISNIC program, which was geared towards computerizing all district offices, has no doubt empowered the creation of smart future through e-governance and digitization. This has made it possible to initiate government interaction and e-governance in different domains, ranging from government to government, government to citizen, government to employee, government to business. Through digitization, crime and criminal tracking of networking systems creates a comprehensive and integrated system for enhancing the efficiency and effective policing at all levels, and especially at the police station level through adoption of principles of e-governance and creation of a nationwide network infrastructure for evolution of IT-enabled state-of-the-art facilities. In order to efficiently create smart future through digitization, I would highlight a few initiatives as time will permit me. E-procurement. This is one great initiative which seeks to implement procurement reforms through the use of electronic government procurement, so as to make public procurement in all sectors more transparent and efficient. E-business. This seeks to transform the business environment by providing efficient, convenient, transparent, and integrated electronic services to investors, industries, and businesses throughout all business life cycle. E-courts. This is one clear objective to re-engineer the processes and enhance the judicial process productivity, both qualitatively and quantitatively. To make the justice delivery system affordable, accessible, cost-effective, transparent, and accountable. In conclusion, the government of India has demonstrated a real willingness to transform relationships between government process and their users by implementing e-governance and digitization, thereby paving ways in creating a smart future for its citizens. I wish you all a very successful deliberation all through this international conference. Thank you to BVIMR for giving us this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Honorable Professor Dr. Ratan Sharma to the dais and acknowledge us with his kind words.
Morning, friends. Good morning. Respected His Excellency, Mr. Alam, Mr. Ganju, Presidio, Professor Vikas, Subodh Agarwal, and conference conveners, Dr. Charu, Dr. Srivastava, Mr. Sani, and Anjali. Friends, I'm extremely happy to be present here. In fact, I'm being invited on behalf of the Association of Indian Management Schools, which is a part of this conference. I'm honored and privileged to be a part of this conference, therefore, as Professor Vikas mentioned it. Personally, also, I'm very happy because digitization we have been talking about. Though I'm not a student of IT, but I still use IT, being in administration and also otherwise as a teacher, we try to use it. And therefore, I must congratulate to begin with the organizers of the conference, because this theme which has been selected is a wonderful theme which I really like it. Theme being empowering to create smart future to begin with through e-governance and digitization. Now, since I'm in academic profession, naturally we have a habit of dissecting things, is it not? And that is what really happens. So when I just heard about this theme, I thought it empowering whom? That was my question to begin with. Whom we should empower? And therefore, I was just trying to go through, talking to people, talking to experts like Professor Vikas and everybody. Empowering people, in fact. That's very important. To create what? Smart future. Now, smart is a term which is being often used. I'm sure we are using everything smart. And smart has a technical meaning, and also we have an English word called smart. Smart boy, smart girl, right? I mean, there's also another. So smart is a very general term, is it not, Ganju sir? Smart, I'll come to that also. But yeah, smart we are comfortable with, because if the students are smart, we say they are very smart, because personality-wise, I think they're wonderful. They talk nicely, they're good etiquettes, right? They are able to present themselves, there's good communication, so on and so forth. But this smart we are referring to is a very different thing in a different context also. And therefore, I scan through the literature, what is the smart future we are talking about? Smart is a word, all right. I understand smart mobile. I understand because the government is also using smart city and smart car and others. I thought, what is smart future going to be like? And it's a very interesting thing which came to my notice, because smart future is something where everybody would like to fulfill one's wishes. He be healthier, happier, and in a very reasonable age, very nice, in fact. He's having a nice feeling. There's a smart future that we are talking about. Now, there is a probability we can have it. But I don't think it's happened. So it's not probable, but also let's imagine a smart future indeed. What is the smart future going to be? Let's see, in the smart future, we got a smart house, smart home. And smart home knows you are living, and smart home knows who is living in this house. Smart home also knows Look, this is what is the mood of the person who is living there. And for example, you happen to be a part where you are living, so you have gone to the office and you are starting your car, smart car, again you are having it, and you are coming back to the to your home. Smart home immediately is on, because it is all device driven, right? Is all interconnected, all things are connected. They understand. I think Mr. Sharma has come, now started coming to this. Now he will immediately try to be ready. Let me welcome. How he welcomes? Opens the door. Immediately the music system is on. The type of mood I am having it. Let's suppose I am in the office, I am very serious, then he will have old songs. So old songs are there, right? So I am very happy. Look at how wonderful, yaar, maja aaya. That sort of a thing. Then probably oven is also started, because I want to have a cup of tea or coffee. Depending upon what I want is smart home, devices know. Because one device is with me, one device there. Smart home knows is as to what is happening. There is AC. Normally, what we normally do is we switch on the AC when we come, right? Either winter or summer. Now it will be automatically on depending upon as to what temperature you really look for, and so on and so forth. Point I am making is smart future is where you are having all the facilities and you are not to do anything at all, is one line of a thinking of a smart future. Now, same happening with the smart car also. So when we say empowering people to create smart future, which means we are talking about a future of this type. We are imagining it. We are able to create or not is a separate issue, but we are imagining this type of a future. Now here came a question, and this is what I've scanned through the literature. I found it, should we really expect this sort of a smart future? Is it not something like, I'm sure those who are from India, there's a not a concept, rather a term called Kam Dhenu Gai. Do you know? Kam Dhenu? You wish anything and you get it. So which means Kam Dhenu Gai is of a still higher type, where your mood, your style, your thinking, your emotions, everything gets reflected, and Kam Dhenu provides you everything. Now that is something which is, I thought it, maybe we can imagine it, but I think it will take a long time. I'm optimist, so it will take a long time. So I thought it's fair enough, that's okay with me. If that is the case, fair. Let us talk about the digitization then. Because one is say everything gets connected to everything, people, data, your processes, your knowledge, everything gets connected. And what IT people talk about, Internet of Things, Internet of Me, and artificial intelligence, and your robots, everything. That's what we are really talking. So everything gets connected and you get something, an outcome for the people, right? Empowering them, not getting that sort of a thing. So I just thought, let me try to have a digitization then. Because digitization is again a term which we often use. I teach strategy, therefore we use digitization, how it impacts the strategy. So my focus was on the corporate. What strategy we should adopt? All right, individually this is great. Question was, should I really as an individual go for a smart future, the type one I have imagined? Which means I have plenty of time. What is that I will do? I have a luxury, right? I have plenty of time. I want to cut the grass myself and my lawn. But I think the device is trying to do it the same. Now, should I allow the devices to control my life? That was a question I was asking to myself. I thought this is not worth. I should not get into that. I should be a little more practical, because this conference people, I think, thought digitization better rather than a smart future. I'm sure that is not, Professor. Your digitization is what you really look for. So I thought, real, okay, digitization again. Now we go for what really I went for digitization. 3 different stages. We say from paper, from manual work, you are going for something different, right? You are really using, you are automating the process. So one stage of digitization was you are automating the manual work or the paper work through this process. Second problem was the processes that we are having it. So we thought let's try to get in that part of a thing. So then I try to look at the part of definition. Again, as I said, as a professor, you need to get into that. And it was very simple. It was a conversion of analog information in any form, and that is which is giving various ways by which you are trying to get into equipments and others. I thought this makes sense to begin with. But I came out with a very Cisco definition. This is very the way they look at it. The connection of people, processes, data, and things to provide intelligence and actionable insight, enabling business customers. I think that makes, as a business professor, sense, because I think that is what we really look for it. To what degree we have attained is a separate issue, but I thought this is what makes sense to us And this is what my focus is. Though I know Professor Vikas has already mentioned some of the advantages of that we are doing automating system and all that, and also the bill which I pay nowadays. In this, he said it that I'm very feeling happy, but I'm also feeling happy at home also, because earlier my wife used to say you have to pay this the bill, but now at least automatic payment is there from my account. So that way my personal life and family life is very happy from this. So I'm not against digitization. I'm so happy with digitization. But point is, what is that in the corporate sector? Factors affecting that. Why this digitization has gone for it? Slightly conceptual, but I thought we should go for it. Consumer pull. I think Vikas has already mentioned to you the type of consumer we are facing. By 2020, everybody will be using the mobile phones, and with those, what we say, digitized world, they will be there. Now we are dealing with the consumers which are young demographic wise, and they are in fact so well versed with all the things which are there. So there is a pull from the consumer side. You have to be digitized. And I'm not really talking about the various terms called digitization, digitalization, digital transformation, digital maturity, intelligence, etc. All that called digitization. This is what really I'm referring to. Second very important part which I feel is the technological push which has come. So many technologies got developed across the border, all over. And I think this is not just not getting the technical part of it, because they are the technical people who are going for it. As a management professional, I have to see, you develop a technology, is it useful? Can we apply it? Where can we apply? And what impact this is going to be? So that is what my focus in fact is. And third thing is the economic benefits. Because ultimately, for example, if you look at the broadband, now it's very affordable. You have accessibility, also affordability. So that part is also there. So from that point of view, people have gone for digitization. Again, as Mr. Ganju mentioned it, everything being spoken by Mr. Vikas, but still, let me say something, impact of what is happening at disruption. Just said disrupted. One finding is that 40% of the Fortune 500 businesses will not survive this massive transition over coming years. This is what was there. This is what Cisco study said it. I was very disturbed. If 40% of the companies, they are out of this, then what is going to happen? Now, as these big companies fade away, nimble technical startups will take their place. This magnitude of market upheavals has not occurred since the advent of the internet. Now, this sort of upheaval you can think of, what is going to happen. So it is not simple, it's a rosy picture that we are talking about digitization. It is not making the payment of bill, right, or electricity bill or mobile bill. We are not talking about. We are talking about the corporates which will be out of the market. If they are out of the market, what repercussions this will have socially? Look at the employment situation which is going to be there. So that is what was, I think I thought it, we should try really to have at least some idea, though I'm not against digitization. Please take it. I'm not that. But still, I thought we should try to go for it. So only thing is today we can say is that there's no enterprise which can ignore this threat. I mean, you can't really say it, I'm doing it, no, maja aa raha hai. No, not at all. No, maja aa raha hai. I think you see the implication going to happen in the medium to long term. And therefore, you need to be very conscious, have your strategy done accordingly. And that was what really I thought I should be going for it. Of course, I'm aware that not all disruptions are because of the technology. Many times our own foolishness is also there as a corporate. I mean, it's not that. But I'm talking about the technological disruption which is really taking place. So what impact this will have for the corporation? I'm sure some of the students and our colleagues may be interested as to why it's okay. Personal level, I'm so happy. And I was mentioning to Professor Vikas. Look, earlier I used to make the payment of the electricity bill giving to somebody, right? And we used to make a payment of rupees 10. And he used to collect my bill and make payment later on through check. Now what has happened is it's being done automatically by me. Now I just talked to him. He said it, I'm out of job, sir, there's not much work. So which we see the situation which is happening, right? So this is one part individual, we are talking about the corporate, same is happening with the corporate. Look what is happening, pressure on prices and profit margins. Is it not so? Why? Simple. It creates a near perfect transparency. I mean, transparency is good, yeah, there's nothing wrong. I don't say it's right. I mean, everybody knows it. For example, Vikas said, transparency of the feedback, I say, mare gaye, all faculty gone, right? If everybody knows everybody, I know as a faculty I teach, then I think I'm in a trouble, deep trouble, right? So transparency to what extent? It says near perfect transparency. And what type? Near perfect transparency, making it easy to compare prices service levels and product performance, consumers can switch among digital retailers, brands and services with just a few clicks or fingertips. I mean, what you do is you go to Amazon and really try to see this available, not there, get to the Snapdeal, go to Flipkart. What is happening? I mean, simple thing. Therefore, it's just simple push a button, and you are just trying really to make things so transparent. And therefore, what happens is the company, they try really to reduce the profits. I was an MDI at that time. In Harvard Business Review came an article, very interesting article, and he was talking about this very simple thing, that there is a perfect competition. I'm sure you must have read Perfect Competition in economics and otherwise, which means lot many buyers, lot many sellers, price, competing, everything, all information available to everybody. Now, in a perfectly competitive market or near perfectly competitive market, managers are in a problem. Why? Simply because managers have to behave there. They have to reduce the prices, right? They have to produce the product, right, for the customers. Now, which is now is so competitive market, profit margins dwindle. They go down. And profit margin go down, then how much salary you get it? I'm talking with students. The same about me. If my profit, my institute does not make a profit, I will get a salary of this time? Everybody gets affected, therefore. And that's what I'm saying. It's a pressure on prices and profit margin. Price comparison sites. Interesting, another thing which is happening is, there's the price comparison sites. Look at them, you must be watching television, I'm sure some of you. And those things which are to be watched. For example, there are sites available which gives you a comparison. Say insurance, that Kapil Sharma comes. You want to make a comparison of the insurance policy, you want to have it, these policies available. You can also have the hotels, same thing which is happening. So if the comparison of prices, those sites are available, I'm sure you can get into that. Likewise, winner take all dynamics. I'll not take much time. I know my time is only 10 minutes. Shalu is not. So nice of you, sir. But still, I know that winner take all dynamics. Reduction in transaction and labor cost. How much fast we are, right? I mean, we say speed is the essence of the day. Fair enough, yeah. Transaction cost, labor cost, it gets reduced totally, which means prices. You have really to again reduce the prices. In case you don't translate that into product prices, there's a problem going to be there. Plug and play business models. Again, it's a business. Interesting part which has happened in the strategy context. What has happened is you are trying to provide hotels, right? Accommodation, etc. And now there are sites available which gives you, say, travel industry. You try to arrange for flights, you try to arrange for hotels, you try to arrange for car rentals, etc. Now somebody, a small person, right? Small individual or a small company, little more digitized. They try to give you, look here, I've got a hotel which I can provide you at a cheaper cost, right? And they plug in that right site. And then you don't know what to do it, because then that is available. So there is a model, business model, which we are really talking about in our context in the classes of strategy. There is a plug and play business models which are really coming and they are in play. You must watch television for all this. Again, this is what I think people are really coming into. So these things are available. Growing talent mismatch. Again, I mean, I think Mr. Ganju mentioned about the stamp and postal stamp. I also belong to that era by chance. So it's a mismatch, but not to that extent. What happens is we had still postal stamp, but also we get into this. I mean, interestingly also I mentioned it is a question of the curiosity you have it. With IIM Lucknow, when I was there, it was in 1991 when the first time computer came in India. I think the people in the education institution. And we were provided, since I was a non-IT background, so I was provided a PCXT. I don't know whether you know it or not. PCXT was very old version, very initial version. IT people use, this was the domain of IT people, very specialist guys. Huh? They can play anything because they used to have big computers, you know, those things. So in those days, so they provided PCXT. And they have a PC 286 at that time. So it's a higher version of PC, right? Little more faster, little more, they can accommodate. And we started learning. And we found after 3-4 months, we were using more computer than the people who were in the IT domain. Now, it's a question of the curiosity we had it. I'm sorry, with due respect to all IT people. It's only I'm mentioning it. How is a curiosity? Even if you don't belong to an IT, but still you can use it. The point I'm making is very simple. This is the growing talent mismatch, which really will happen. And that's why today we look for the artificial intelligence programmers. Skill differently they required, not merely the different ones. Data scientists, people who lead digital strategies and think creatively. Professor Vikas was mentioning every education, those processes have been what we say, digitized. Now, somebody has to think about all that part. And those strategies have to be there, different domain of strategies, different areas, different sectors of the strategies need to be there. So that we have to get it. Again, because the convergence is there of global supply and demand, simply because it's a digitized world. So there's a more transparency, everybody knows about everything. So whatever is being offered in USA has to be offered here. So it's a very simple, with this, there's no barrier, pressure to offer standardized products in India also there. It's not only that I'm asking in Delhi, but also the village, right? The fellow says, look here, ye brand chahiye, this part we look for it. So that's why there's what we say, the converging global supply and demand. And then evolving business models, right? It's very simple. I know I'm taking more time. I'm sure you must not be discussing about the timing part of it. He's a professor, this happens with us. Right. Now, is a high velocity change which is taking place. I give you 2-3 examples. Music industry. Professor Vikas mentioned it. We were very comfortable with tapes and CDs, but now it is a subscription model. Now the whole business model has shifted, right? Not the physical form, but also a different form. Then we also have a transportation. I mean, you need not be owner, in fact, of the taxi, Uber or Ola or something of that. You only have to have mobile apps, sensors in cars and data in the cloud, etc. And you can still go for it, as he gave, in fact, number of companies example as to how this is going to be there. So these are some of the things I thought that I must mention for companies which are now. Now, these are some of those what we should be doing about it. We should be very careful what to do. I'm sure if you give me 2-3 minutes more, Vikas, then, right. So I think embrace the new logic. Many times we are not comfortable with using this part. We have to understand, look here, there is a logic in whatever we are doing it. Ultimately, digitization has a logic. Transparency, accountability, many of the ills which were there in the previous things get eliminated or deleted or no more there. Now those things are there. So which means that you understand the logic as a manager. Because if you don't understand the logic and you still say, look here, I'm still in the old game. No, it's not going to work. I think change in the mindset of the managers is bound to be there, and this is very important. And this will mean you should redesign your capabilities to deliver better value. Now, how to do it? I don't think anybody can suggest it. You are in the field. You will be there in the company. For example, in the education field, I know what is to be done. But you will be wherever you are, or in my institute, I can do whatever I want to because I understand the whole nitty-gritty of the things. But you have to find it out what is to be done. Start now, move deliberately. Very interesting part. Many times it's very reactive, way to really start. You be moving strategically. I only want to mention digital, one here, there in different areas. No, make it industry, the whole enterprise-wise, business-wise. Because then only the fruitful results will be there. I mean, I remember when I'm digitized, right? For example, simple thing. I'm sending email. And there are people who don't want to read email. I mean, I want to call a meeting and they have not read email. Now what to do? I mean, I don't have people where those who can attend email. Which means what? Simple. You have a digitized mindset to use the digital part. You must be having a mindset, which means cultural shift, mindset. I think that needs to be done. So before you invest in technology, change the mindset, develop a culture. And that's what really we look for it. So focus on right to win. I mean, which means challenges are there. Don't really try to go away. Is there. And create customer future. It's very interesting. I like always that part of it. I mean, you make the life of the customer very simple. I mean, think of that, what he will need. He may not be able to articulate. I mean, you think on his behalf what he will need it. Apple has done it. Steve Jobs did it, in fact. He was thinking they will need it. And after some time, customer said, yaar, mujhe yahi zarurat thi. I think he did it, right? And that's the way you should try to present. Now, if that is there, then I think, again, price has to be cut, and some of those overlooked or underused assets must be utilized. Now, that is what I think broadly I will be just talking about. I must say this in the end. I don't think I'll continue much. I will only say technology is one part. That's all. Don't really depend too much on it. I'm not saying technology is not important. Don't please take me. Bahar mujhe pakad nahi lena. Don't say. I am saying technology is very important. All that what you are talking is great, wonderful, but have a strategy. What do you want to achieve? You want to invest in technology a huge amount. There are companies which have failed. They have invested huge amount because they did not have a enterprise, a very clear-cut, focused strategy. And therefore, I think in the age of this digitized world, I'm sure you will be able to create, if not smart future of the type I imagined, but a world digitized, a better life, a better things, but there are challenges which I'm sure you must have got hinted as to what is that going to be there. So with this, I thank you very much for listening patiently, in fact, to whatever I said. So nice of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing such a great knowledge with us. Now I would like to invite Honorable Professor Mr. Subodh Agarwal to enlighten the dais with his kind words.
So, good morning, guys. Hare Krishna. Are you there? Yes, sir. Okay. Bring some energy. It's your event, man. So, good morning again. Good morning, sir. Yeah. So, that's good. So, I'm not a traditional speaker, right? So, I'm going to start my presentation, my discussion with you guys. Maybe I just would love you guys to be interactive if I ask any questions. Yeah, that'll be great. So, Honorable His Excellency and her dignitaries on the dais. I am from a background of e-governance. I'm working in Delhi government, right? So day in and day out, I am dealing with e-governance processes, e-governance stage which is happening in Delhi, right? And I'm in touch with the various development happening in India about the e-governance. So let me tell you guys, I'm not naming the projects here. I'm just telling you what is happening in the country so that you guys are aware of what is the area of e-governance is happening and going through what phase is the India is right now. So there are different states at different level. Each state is moving towards e-governance, right? So some states are really fast, like you talk about Andhra Pradesh, you talk about Telangana, you talk about Gujarat. So there are different states at different level of the e-governance. What is happening is everyone is moving towards digitizing India. That's for sure. So this is a good news for us that the digital India and e-governance is moving really, really faster in India. Now, what is happening? What kind of a services, what kind of a expectation are citizens having, and what kind of e-governance is on the way, right? So, for example, there were the days like where you go to electricity department, you go to licensing, driving license for your driving license, for your any kind of a service from the governance. What is happening? There is a proactive governance concept is emerging now. So this digital India is not an active initiative from the government. It is a push from the citizen. It is a demand from the citizen, which is being which you are seeing nowadays. Now it's a need of the hour. Like now the entire world is one community, right? So from the people expectation, this digital India is being derived. The e-governance is the need of hour today, right? So when you talk about any services, like you go to the department, you apply for the services, then you wait for the processing to happen, and then services are delivered to you, right? So just before this, I would like to ask, how many of you have the digital locker account here? Have you heard of digital locker, guys? You, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are few. So we are talking about digitization, right? We are talking about we as a progressive moving into education, but that is what happening. There are a lot of good initiatives which are not really reaching to the intended people. I would request you guys to look for Google for this digital locker and have an account there, right? Digital locker is like which we talked about net thing here, like your certificate, everything will be there. Similar way, there's a space created for you guys where you can have all your certificates, everything online, right? And this is going to be real future in terms of any services you request from the department, any certificate, any kind of information that will be given to your digital locker, right? And anytime you have access to digital locker. Now, what is happening when you apply for any services in the government, right? You basically submit 3-4 documents, right? And then you apply for the services. What is happening is that all these documents which you are actually giving to the government mostly are coming from the government. Is it right or wrong? Be it education certificate, be it your ration certificate, be it your income certificate, caste certificate, domicile certificate. That's what being asked, right? For any of these services. What is happening is now all these documents, right? People's expectations have grown. First of all, they are being put on digital locker, right? That's a process going on. No matter where is Delhi, where is Gujarat, everyone is moving towards that. Everyone has to have all these documents on the digital locker. Number one. Number two, now since the expectations have grown, there are states which have reached to a level, right, where you apply for a service, right? Need not to apply for a service. The moment a child is registered about to come in this world, that is registered, right? The moment delivery happens, you are aware of what kind of eligibility your child has. The moment he grown up to 3 years, you will get the option of the schools you have, right? So all this movement are happening. The moment he becomes around 17, you will get an SMS to apply for a learning license. So that's called proactive governance, and that is what the world is moving towards, right? So this is one of the part of the e-governance, right? Now when we talk about digitization, now digitization in many terms, digitization of the documents, digitization of the information, digitization of any services you get, right? The world is connected now. Digitization is happening in each space of these segments, right? So are you guys aware of cloud? How many are very clear about cloud? Why you're not raising hands? Okay, fine. I understand most of you are aware, but some of us say, okay, if I raise the hand, if he asks the question, what will I say? Don't worry about it. I'm not going to ask the question. I'm just going to sensitize the information here. Now IT is not for the IT professional now, right? If you talk about cell phones, right? The telephone connection, 96% of the telephone connections are the smartphones. Can you believe it? And none of the training were given to these guys. They're using apps. WhatsApp, everyone is using WhatsApp, Google and all that stuff. Even your dada, dadis, and everyone is using those apps. No training was given. So there is a scarcity, where people feel, oh, digitization is coming my way, and there is a lot of scare about it, right? But there are a lot of discussion about how it will reach to the last mile. But now digitization is moving towards where ease of the people is discussed, right? You need not to be a champion to use these apps. You need not be a champion of being an IT person, right? This information is there in your application, and it will be handled and delivered to an illiterate person also. Like not only the smartphones, there are even that character-based phone what we used to have earlier, Nokia phones and all that, right? So the government services, like for the farmers, right? There is a USSID something, right? Even those characterized phone, they can apply and get the information then and there on their phone. That is what the technology is available these days. Now integration of application is so much easy like never before. So when we talk about digitization, when we talk about e-governance, when we talk about artificial intelligence, there is a lot of scare created about jobs, like a lot of scare, oh, what will happen? Like, what will I do? Something like that, as the professor talked about it. But, all कहते हैं ना, आवश्यकता आविष्कार की जर्नी है. The necessity is the mother of innovation, right? All these people who are being impacted by digitization, right? They are getting a new life and new way of doing things, right? Some of them are really old, some of them are in mid-age, some of them are, new joinees to those fields. But definitely there is a transformation happening, and there are supports given from the government also, where, you talk about Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Yojana, skill development and all that, right? There are many schemes which we are not aware of it, right? So I request you guys to Google it out, right? There are a lot of, like for example, startups. There are a lot of, subsidies and a lot of, wealth is available for the startup, funding available for the startups. When we talk about digitization, whatever the duration of this program is, I would request you guys to Google it out about digitization and what are your rights, what are your facilities. Suppose you're thinking in the world, you want to start your own startup, right? So there are startup sites, there are startup forums, there are startup, groups where you can talk about the kind of dreams you can fulfill now. I was just reading yesterday, there was a book called, Parable of Pipeline. So I'm not talking about the pipeline. Like youngsters are really very wise and really, smart enough to handle things. I started my career in 1993, so I'm a little older also, right? So what I'm trying to say is, you guys have the liberty of this internet world. Like internet is really a blessing today. Lots of information is available right hand in front of you, right? So you guys are requested to look for your dreams and align your dreams on the area you are looking for. Connect your respective area, connect your respective forums, connect your respective organization to start building your dream these days. Don't wait for 4 years to complete your MBA or whatever, right? I request you to decide what your dreams are, right? Accordingly, see who are the organizations, handling and can fulfill your dream, and then connect the dots and live a real digitization power, which you can live and make your life all about, right? So I would like to, there is a conference, parallel conference going on, Surakshit Bharat, right? Cyber Surakshit Bharat. So, and not many people are aware of it, right? There are a lot of events which Government of India is organizing, right? Even Delhi government is organizing a lot of events. Whenever you get a chance, go to these people, go to these events and see what are the available options for you, right? Not many people are aware of what is the kind of digitization, what is the kind of e-governance is happening in the country. For example, Delhi government is launching, not only this digitization, they are launching a doorstep delivery of services. Very soon, you will make a call and you will get the government service delivered at your doorstep. See, that's what, earlier it used to be a pain, right? So this is what we are moving towards. I was watching a video where, it was really mind-boggling video, which talks about, like, what is the next to be digitized? Now document has been digitized, information has been digitized. What is next to be digitized? Can you guess, guys? What is the next thing to be digitized? What is the next big word is going to impact your life? Identity, yeah. It's going on, yeah. But it's visible now, right? Any guess, guys? Guys at the back, please raise your hand. At least raise your hand. Let me see you are alive, right? Okay. Sir. Brain signals. So the next thing is going to be digitized is the medicine. Can you imagine the medicine to be digitized? I was just watching this mind-boggling video and it's available on net. It talks about your medicine is going to be digitized, like cancer cell. Like when any part of your body develops that cancer cell, right? It has got different cells, and the cancer cells have different pores, right? Different pores of different sizes. So every cell has got this pores, and cancer cells have different pores, right? And they are of not an even sizes. So there is a chip going to be designed, and once that chip is given inside your body, that chip goes inside your body and attack and get into that particular cancer cell and attack that cancer, kill that. That is a kind of medicine is going to arrive in the market soon, right? And there are a lot of things talked about it. Once you Google it, you will find it. What I'm trying to say is, there's a lot of hula hoop about digitization. Digitization cannot survive, it cannot happen without a process behind it. So you guys, as Sir said about it, that every machine has a human touch, right? So human being has always been important. Without human touch, nothing can move, right? So you are part of the process. You are the key ingredient for that digitization to happen. Make sure once you go out in the world, you have the enough knowledge, you have the enough information about this digitization, you have a clarity about the kind of world you're going to choose, right? So I would like to leave with a share to you guys. कि गम की इस दुनिया में खुशी बन के जियो. Guys, you are listening? Yes, sir. Okay. गम की इस दुनिया में खुशी बन के जियो, कब्रगाहों में जिंदगी बन के जियो. गम की इस दुनिया में खुशी बन के जियो, कब्रगाहों में जिंदगी बन के जियो. चाहे मंजिल न मिले, दिल को तसल्ली तो हो, दूर ही की सही मगर रोशनी बन के जियो. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. Now, BVIMR takes this opportunity and pride to release their first finance newsletter, Finanza, the Rupee Matters. So I request Dr. Manpreet Kaur, along with the editorial team, to join us on the stage for this release ceremony. And I would request Director Sir, along with our chief guest, to initiate the release, please. Please, can we have the student editorial team on the stage?
Utkarsh, can you liaison with Dr. Manpreet Kaur, ma'am?
She's there. Give her the stage. We would also request Director Sir to release the conference e-book.
Almost 87 papers will be presented. Almost 87 papers are being presented in the conference at 2 locations, 40 at BVIMR and 37 at Mumbai. So that makes it 77. And this CD comprises of all those papers which are free from plagiarism. So it has passed through the test of plagiarism and has been peer reviewed. So let's go in for releasing this.
Have a round of applause, please.
Thank you, for bringing yet another issue of e-book. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Now I would like to share the dais with Dr. Anjali Sharma, convener of this international conference, to give a vote of thanks. Ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me take this opportunity to express my gratitude to everyone who has been instrumental in giving a wondrous shape to this conference. We are highly appreciative of the leadership and encouragement and extensive support provided by our Chancellor, Honorable Dr. Patang Raoji Kadam, and we are also thankful to our Director, Dr. Vikas Nath, for guiding us to lay the foundation for this conference. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the esteemed guests on the dais, Honorable His Excellency Alam Tasai, Honorable Shri K.L. Ganju, Honorable Shri Presido Akuguni, Honorable Shri Professor Dr. Ratan Sharma, Honorable Mr. Subodh Agarwal, for gracing the occasion with their presence. All the participants for giving a meaningful message and meaning to this conference through their participation. And lastly, our associate partners, Association of African Studies in India, METY, NEGD and Digital India, and our sponsors AIMS, NMtronics and INEST. Thanks a lot.